This is the Senior Safety Advice Podcast, your daily moment of calm, guidance, and encouragement as we navigate aging, caregiving, and living well together. Now, let's get on with today's episode.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Senior Safety Advice Daily Show. I'm Esther Kane, and I'm really glad you're here with me today. I want to talk about something that so many caregivers struggle with, a guilt. That quiet voice inside of you that says, I should be doing more. I'm not doing enough. Or I shouldn't feel tired. Or even, I'm not handling this as well as I should. If those phrases or something similar sound familiar to you, well, believe me, you're not alone. Guilt can sneak into caregiving in 100 little ways. But today, I want to help you shift that heavy feeling into something lighter. And that lighter is gratitude. Choosing gratitude over guilt doesn't mean ignoring the hard parts. It means allowing room for kindness toward yourself, even when things aren't perfect. When I worked as an occupational therapist, I saw this pattern so many times. I remember a woman in particular. Her name was Joanne. She was caring for her husband who had Parkinson's. She was patient, loving, and incredibly organized. But when I visited her, she always looked so exhausted. One day, after helping her husband settle into his chair, she turned to me and said, I feel guilty every time I sit down. I think that I should be cleaning or exercising him or doing something productive. I sat and told her that something I still believe deeply today. You're not a machine. You're a person. Resting doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're refueling. We talked about what she was thankful for, even in that hard season of her life. She said, I'm grateful that he still knows who I am. I'm grateful for mornings when we laugh, and I'm grateful for my neighbor who brings soup every Thursday. I thought that was really nice. That shift from guilt to gratitude didn't change her workload, but it changed how she carried it. She started noticing small blessings instead of measuring every task she didn't do, and slowly her days felt lighter. So let's talk about how you can begin to choose gratitude over guilt in your own life. Now, I've spoken about this before, the importance of gratitude, but it's important enough to repeat. All right, number one, recognize that guilt is a signal, not a truth. Guilt often shows up because you care deeply. You want to do right by your loved one, and that's a beautiful thing. Honor it. But guilt can also exaggerate reality. It tells you that you're failing when you're actually doing your best. When you notice that feeling, pause. Ask yourself, is this guilt helping me or is it hurting me? If it's motivating you in a healthy way, fine. But if it's just draining your energy, it's time to replace it with gratitude. And just a personal note, if you don't recognize if you are feeling guilty or not, then maybe it's time to speak to a counselor, someone who can help you identify your feelings. I know that from personal experience and from being an occupational therapist working with so many family caregivers, that when you're so emotionally drained and exhausted and just, pulled from every single angle, it's very difficult sometimes to identify what it is that you're feeling. So get the help you need. It will help you and the loved one that you're caring for tremendously. All right. Number two, start small. You don't have to wake up tomorrow overflowing with gratitude. Just notice one thing, one simple moment that made today a little bit better. Maybe your mom smiled when you made her coffee. Maybe your dad had a good day with fewer symptoms. Maybe you finally took 5 minutes to sit outside and just breathe. Write it down, even if it's just one sentence. Gratitude grows stronger when we name it, when we recognize it. I used to suggest that caregivers keep what I called a tiny victories journal, a gratitude journal. Each night they'd write one thing they were thankful for or proud of that day. Over time, those little notes became proof that they were doing far more good than they even realized. 4, reframe your expectations. Perfection doesn't exist in caregiving. There's no ideal day where everything goes right and everyone's happy. Some days will be messy. Some days you'll lose your patience or forget something. That doesn't mean you failed. It means you're human. Gratitude helps us see what did go right, even on tough days. Maybe your loved one laughed. Maybe they ate a good meal. Maybe you made it through without tears that day. Those are wins, even if they don't look like the picture-perfect version that you had in mind. 4, remember that self-care isn't selfish. This is so very important. Many caregivers feel guilty for taking breaks or doing something just for themselves. But caring for yourself is caring for your loved one. When you rest, eat well, see friends, get some respite help, you come back calmer and stronger. That helps both of you, all of you. So if you ever think, I shouldn't take time for me, try replacing that thought with, I'm grateful that I can take care of myself too. That simple reframe turns guilt into something nourishing. Number 5, practice gratitude towards yourself. Thank yourself, as I've said before. This one feels uncomfortable at first, but it's really powerful. At the end of each day, instead of listing what went wrong, say to yourself, thank you. Thank you for getting through another day. This is you thanking yourself. Thank you for being patient when you were tired. Thank you for showing up even when it was hard. You might be surprised how healing that simple act can be. Number 6, focus on moments of connection, not performance. Caregivers often measure their success by productivity. Did I get all the pills organized? Did I make every appointment? But caregiving is about connection, not checklists. Gratitude helps us return to that truth. Of course you need those checklists, but don't forget the gratitude part. So if you had one moment of laughter, one hug, one quiet moment of peace, that's worth celebrating. Those are the moments that your loved one will remember, that you will remember, even more than the perfectly timed medication. And lastly, number 7, lean on others. Seek out that respite help. It's easier to stay grateful when you don't feel alone, when you're not exhausted. Talk with a friend, join a support group, connect with other caregivers online. When you share your struggles, you often discover that others feel the exact same way, the exact same guilt, and that simple honesty helps you both release it. Gratitude grows best in a community. Now, I know, gratitude doesn't erase the hard parts, of course. It doesn't make appointments fewer or the nights shorter, but it does help you hold them differently. When guilt says you're not doing enough, gratitude says, I'm doing the best I can with what I have. When guilt says, I can't do this, gratitude says, I've made it through every day so far. And when guilt focuses on what's missing, gratitude points to what remains, the love, the laughter, the strength that keeps showing up. So let's try something right now. Take a slow breath in and let it out. Now think of one thing, just one thing, right this moment, that you're grateful for. It could be the person you're caring for. It could be the roof over your head, the cup of tea in your hand, the fact that you're listening to this podcast and taking a few quiet minutes for yourself. That's gratitude in action. It grounds you. It softens your thoughts, and it makes room for grace. So as we close, I want you to remember this. Guilt pulls you backward, but gratitude helps you move forward. So if you catch yourself thinking, I didn't do enough today, pause and say, I'm thankful for what I did manage to do. You are doing sacred work. There's no doubt about it. It's not easy. It's not perfect. It's messy. And it's scary at times. But it's real. And it's love in action. So choosing gratitude over guilt is how we remind ourselves that we're enough, just as we are. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this message brought you a little peace, share it with another caregiver who might need the same reminder. You'll find more stories, guides, and encouragement at seniorsafetyadvice.com. And don't forget, come back tomorrow for another few minutes of calm and connection. Until then, take care of yourself and take care of the ones that you love.
This podcast is part of our mission to help older adults live safely and independently. If you'd like to take the next step, visit aginginplacedirectory.com, where you'll find specialists, helpful resources, and inspiration to make every home your place to thrive.